We build churches to be the ultimate sanctuaries, thick-walled, consecrated refuges designed to keep the world and its terrors at a distance. But when the sun sets, that intended safety can vanish. Across Europe, some of the holiest sites have transformed into epicenters for the very supernatural forces they were built to exclude. This shift is most visible in Lukova, Czech Republic, where the decaying St. George's Church stands as a reminder of a forgotten congregation. The haunting began with a terrible tragedy in 1968. During a funeral service, the roof suddenly collapsed on the mourners. Terrified villagers viewed the accident as a divine curse, abandoning the building to the elements. In 2012, an artist attempted to save the structure by filling the rotting pews with dozens of life-sized, faceless statues. Shrouded in white cloth, they represented the spirits of the people who once prayed there. Tourists report sharp drops in temperature and persistent whispers echoing from empty, dark corners. Locals claim that real, restless spirits have begun to inhabit the statues, using the plaster forms to manifest in the physical world. The result is the central paradox of Lukova. An architectural space built for spiritual liberation has become a physical container for the dead. The same sense of entrapment exists beneath the streets of Dublin, where the history of the city is layered into cold stone crypts. The heavy stone tower of St. Michan's Church appears ordinary from the outside, but the reality hidden beneath the floorboards is much grimmer. High concentrations of limestone and methane gas in the vaults have prevented natural decay for centuries. The crypts are filled with perfectly preserved mummies, including an 800-year-old crusader whose limbs had to be broken just to fit into his coffin. Visitors to these vaults report a violent paranormal backlash. People frequently describe feeling icy fingers brushing against their necks, or invisible hands pulling their hair in the dark. This is attributed to Irish folklore's curse of the unburied, focusing on purgatory. When the earth is physically denied its right to reclaim a body through decay, the soul is tethered to its remains, blocked from crossing over. At St. Michan's, the disruption of natural laws within a sacred space has created a permanent subterranean prison for the spirits left behind. In Italy, the stains on holy ground are more overt, driven by a history of mass death and the desecration of the dead. The San Bernardino alle chapel is decorated with thousands of skulls and bones of 12th century orphans and disease victims, arranged in intricate, macabre patterns. Local legends claim that on All Souls' Day, these spirits awaken for a skeletal dance of the dead, a manifestation of the trauma and neglect they suffered in life. A similar residue exists at Mortemer Abbey in France, where the ghosts of 4 murdered monks pace the blood-stained paths where they were killed. Paranormal researchers identify this as the theory of sanctuary, human souls clinging to the ruins of an altar because they believe it is the only place they can receive divine protection from the dark. Centuries of intense grief and desperate prayer create a spiritual gravity. This energy trap suggests that the volume of human emotion within these walls binds entities to the building long after they should have moved on. These locations prove that human emotion can be a stronger binding force than stone, turning an intended sanctuary into a psychological snare. Scientists offer a more grounded explanation for these experiences, attributing the chills and voices to drafty corridors, the settling of ancient wood, and simple hallucinations. However, the architecture of fear suggests that imposing Gothic designs are intentionally built to manipulate our senses, using massive scale and deep shadows to trigger a primal feeling of being watched. Despite these scientific theories, night investigators continue to record chilling electronic voice phenomena, disembodied pleas for help captured in the dead of night within active churchyards. The institutional church takes these anomalies seriously. The Vatican still dispatches priests to perform exorcisms on the physical buildings themselves, treating the structures as if they have become infected by the spirits within. This suggests a theological tension, that the more a space is consecrated as a beacon of light, the more it may attract the entities currently wandering in the shadows. These hauntings are a testament to the way human history is baked directly into the limestone, timber, and bone of these structures. Next time you feel a sudden chill in a quiet church, remember you're standing in an emotional trap, and you are likely not alone.